When people think of the Kardashian name, they are usually thinking about reality television and sexual promiscuity. However, as of late it could also mean politics. Especially since Kim Kardashian got involved in a clemency case for a non-violent first-time drug offender who had spent the last 20 years of her life in jail. The headlines of all major media outlets were buzzing when President Trump finally agreed to the clemency after years of Kim Kardashian's work to achieve that result. Now, she is telling people higher political office might be in the cards. CNN reported Kim Kardashian West says she hasn't ruled out going into politics. Last week, President Trump commuted the sentence of Alice Johnson, a first-time non-violent drug offender who'd been serving a life sentence since 1996 after Kardashian West made a case for Johnson in an Oval Office visit. "It's a victory that has changed her life," Kardashian West said on CNN's The Van Jones Show. Trending, Obama busted alerting IG report before release, he scrubbed it all. "Now we know what he's hiding, and I honestly saw that if I could use my platform just to do something for one person, that it opens the conversation for so much more and for other people to want to do the same thing," the reality star told Jones. "If more people would just put their personal feelings aside and talk about really important issues that have to be discussed, then so much more can get done," she said. Asked by Jones if she would ever run for office, Kardashian West said it isn't likely right now. Still, she won't rule it out completely. "I guess never say never. But that's not going to be like Kim's running. That's not where I am," she said. Kardashian West told Jones she wants to help other incarcerated women, starting one person at a time, and has no interest in following a specific party line. "No matter who you talk to, no matter what political party, people feel what's right is right, and that's what I love about this, is that it can just be so bipartisan," she said. The case that Kardashian was advocating for, that has gotten her into the political realm, was one concerning prison reform. It was back in October of 2017 that West heard about the story of Alice Marie Johnson and, since then, has worked with her to get her out of jail. Alice Marie Johnson was a 62-year-old grandmother, great-grandmother, and mother. Decades ago she was convicted of non-violent crimes that included laundering charges as well as several drug offenses. When the full pardon of Johnson was announced, the administration released a statement in which they indicated they intend on continuing to be tough on crime, but acknowledging that those who have paid their debt to society should be given a second chance. When the news broke, West took to social media to show her excitement, exclaiming that it was the best news ever. Shortly thereafter, she made the phone call to Johnson to let her know that her sentence had been committed. West detailed how during the phone call Johnson started screaming and crying in a way she will never forget. CNN reported a photo of Kardashian West and Johnson sitting down for an interview to air on NBC's Today Show on Thursday was posted to the Facebook page of the Scholl law firm, which represents Johnson. Johnson was convicted in 1996 of conspiracy to possess cocaine and attempted possession of cocaine and spent a third of her life in prison. Ms. Johnson has accepted responsibility for her past behavior and has been a model prisoner over the past 2 decades, the White House said in a statement. Despite receiving a life sentence, Alice worked hard to rehabilitate herself in prison and act as a mentor to her fellow inmates. It was Kardashian West who broke the good news to Johnson in a tearful phone call shortly before her release. "I was like, 'You're going home. Kardashian West said last week, recalling the conversation. "We cried, maybe, on the phone for, like, 3 minutes straight," an emotional Kardashian West told CNN, recounting her advocacy for Johnson and her role in Trump's decision to grant her clemency. "Everyone was just crying," Kardashian West said. Her mission started with a call to Ivanka Trump to plead Johnson's case and also to ask her for a meeting with her father. "I know that you have compassion for women like this," she recalled saying. She immediately felt it, Kardashian West said of Ivanka Trump. The president's daughter connected Kardashian with her husband, Jared Kushner, who took an interest in Johnson's case, according to Kardashian West. Daily phone calls with the White House followed. But Kardashian West didn't want to take too much credit for Johnson's release and acknowledged others who tried to help her over the years. "I did what I knew how to do," she said. Last week, an emotional Johnson marveled at her freedom after more than 2 decades behind bars, grateful for a second chance and craving seafood. President Barack Obama did not intervene in Johnson's case during his 8 years in office because the Justice Department recommended denying Johnson's request for commutation. 3 requests were made but never reached Obama's desk because he followed the Justice Department's recommendations, a senior Obama administration official told CNN. While the Obama administration refused to take action on Johnson's case, the Trump administration did. Given the flack and criticism that this administration receives when it comes to marijuana, prison reform, and crime, one would think the commutation would never occur. However, President Trump's actions indicate that he knew what the right thing to do was, and he did. Regardless of President Obama's inaction that caused Johnson to remain in prison for a longer period of time. Share if you agreed. Share if you believe this should be an example to liberals that President Trump is willing to find a middle ground. Share if you think that this shows that President Trump is a good negotiator and someone willing to recognize when change needs to happen. Share if you hope that Johnson will reform her old ways and be a contributing member of society.